I'm going to open my box that I got from Botanical Interests, and I'm going to show you the seeds that I ordered, the price that I paid for them, and how I'm going to sow them, where I'm going to do it indoors or outdoors. And I want to get your tush going because come on, the season is about to start. I want you to get super excited and prepared for when spring is coming. For the best gardening advice and ideas, subscribe to my channel and hit that little bell so that you can get notified every time I post a video. I've been gardening for about 2 decades. That's a freaking long time. Inevitably, you're going to go out and see a lot of beautiful plants and you're going to want to buy them. But adding seeds is a game changer because of money and because you can get varieties that are not at your garden centers. Believe it or not, my receipt came to let's see, $74.24. All right, and that includes my shipping. It doesn't look like much, but the amount of plants that you will get is going to be massive compared to the amount of plants that I would have if I bought them at the nursery in March. Real quickly, I got some echinacea, a couple peppers, tomatoes, stevia, black-eyed Susan, columbine, lavender, several sunflowers, and cilantro microgreens. Comment down below which one is your favorite seed, which one you've had the most success with, so that you could help other gardeners in the community. Here's some seeds that I actually bought from Walmart and Amazon. This one's a cherry tomato. This says Artisan Bumblebee Blend. Interesting. Step 1 is to know your last frost date. And to find this out, you're going to go to almanac.com. And if you click on my link, it'll take you right to this place where you just put in your zip code. You put in a zip code. I put one here that I remember back from college. And this city in Indiana has the last spring frost on May 1st. So then you are going to go find yours. You put in your zip code. All right, now in step 2, you're going to look at the time it takes to germinate. So look at the back of the seed card and it'll show you some options. This one says when to sow outside and when to start inside. So it actually recommends starting inside. The recommendation is to plan out 4 to 6 weeks before transplanting. So you're going to have to look at the date and plan 1 to 2 weeks after your last average frost date. Since my last frost date is March 15th, I'm going to actually look for 2 weeks after that, right, is when I would actually transplant them. So that's my transplant date, March 29th. I'm going to go back 6 weeks, which would put me at February 15th, and that is actually when I need to sow my seeds indoors. Now you are ready for step 3, which is to sow your seeds. And I'm going to give you some tips to help you. You can grow seeds just about anywhere. These are cells that you can easily find anywhere at the garden centers. You can use egg cartons. You could use all kinds of things. Just make sure they are clean and sterilized. This year, I wanted to have something that was recyclable and that I could also not have to worry about transplanting them. I could just go ahead and let them biodegrade in the ground. And so this is my solution. I found these little plugs that you can create made out of cardboard, and Botanical Interest has them. So I bought them in 2 different sizes. This is the second size. The first one was 1.5 inches, the little plugs. And then this one is 3-inch pots, and this is what those look like. Good soil is definitely a key to success. And if you sow outdoors, you're going to want to definitely have your soil tested. Your local extension office can do that, often for free, sometimes for a nominal fee. You can Google that or just go to the link where it'll give you you put in your zip code and it'll tell you the nearest office within a certain mile radius. Now in my area, the University of Georgia has dropped off these bags at local plant nurseries, and I can go pick up the bag, fill it out, put in my soil and drop it off at the local nursery and then pick it back up with my results. I recently ordered this soil tester from Amazon, which I will let you know once I use it if it's a good product, but it's supposed to read the moisture and pH levels of your soil. If you're starting your seeds indoors, it is important to get a seed starting mix. And this is really helpful because it'll have the right amount of nutrients and it'll help the seeds hold the right amount of water. It does not matter what company you choose. Just make sure that it is meant for starting seeds indoors. I really want to stay organized, and so I bought a garden journal from Amazon recently, and I want to use this garden journal to jot down as many details as possible. I'm going to be able to keep track of the plant name, the type, where I got it, how much I paid for the seeds in this case, when I'm going to sow it, whether I'm going to sow it indoors or if I'm going to choose to do it outdoors. And then I'm going to, after they start sprouting, I'm going to see how successful they are and write this down as much as possible. I'm very excited to try stevia. I want to try it from seed and be able to grow my own stevia. Now take a look at cilantro. Cilantro can grow early for me in my area, and so I can go ahead and start as soon as February 15th, but I'm going to stagger my sowing. So I'm going to do February 15th, the 28th, the 15th of March, and then the 30th of March. That way I can extend my cilantro season. Let's talk about hyssop. This must be a bestseller all over the place because it was hard to find. I had to go to Amazon, pay $7 for 1,000 seeds, but this was amazing. All the pollinators, the hummingbirds, the butterflies, all of them absolutely love hyssop. So I'm going to try to extend my growing season by continuously sowing them indoors. I suggest you create your own little sowing system. So I actually have found that putting them in envelopes like this and marking the front of the envelope of when I'm going to sow them, and they're all kind of in the same category. So indoors versus outdoors, right? This one's indoors. Inevitably, some of these packets will both be for indoors or outdoors, but I've marked in the back what I want to do and which ones I want to sow when. Then I put them in a box. It's nothing fancy. I've saved some seeds, put them in there. I'm going to put my packets of seeds. You know, if I were to need more envelopes, I would use more envelopes or whatever, but just kind of have them organized in a way that I understand, which is what's important. I also will put my garden journal in there because right now I'm working on my seeds. I bet by now you know a lot more about seeds and planning for seeds, when to sow them indoors and outdoors, but maybe you are still undecided about the types of plants that you need for your specific situation in the garden. So, for example, I know some lady asked me, hey, I have a lot of shade in my garden. What should I plant? Or people ask me all the time, what are the best perennials or like the easiest ones to get started? I have created a 24-page cheat sheet to help you brainstorm what could be great in your specific space. And so you can download the sheet by clicking on the link below. If you already know that you want to order some seeds and you want to order from Botanical Interest, then I also have a link for that for you. Check out these videos if you want more ideas. And if you like the video, hit that like button and please be sure to subscribe and share with other friends who love to garden. Remember, you can create bliss in your garden.